Hello and welcome. So today is another Christmas card. This time I've been inspired by this paper pad from the works, Let It Snow. It's a Make and Create pad, and in particular this scene here. I bought in the Craft Stash sale this window die set, which is here on. So you get the snow, you get some snowflakes, handles, and so I'm predominantly interested in this, and I thought that it would be nice to have a big card with the window. I've cut 4 of these out in white card, so that gives me quite a bit of a width for dimension. So I thought it might be nice to have a window, sort of an indoor scene looking out to one of the scenes from the works pads, and I thought that this one would be quite nice behind the window. So with that in mind, it needs to be a big card. I prepared all this at Linda's a couple of weekends ago. I wanted an 8x8 square card, didn't have any with me at the time, so I've got one piece of 8x8 white cardstock and a piece of 8.5 by 8, and I've scored at 1/2 inch to make a fold over. And then to make the card, I'm going to stick that to the back. It's that way to the back, so that will make an 8x8 side folding card. And then on top, this is a piece of gold mirror, and this is one of the little notches over 7 3/4 of an inch. Now that is 13/16 of the inch, so it's the notch between 3/4 of an inch and 7/8 of an inch. So it gives a very, very tiny border. And this is a sheet of pattern paper from another Christmas pattern set. That set is called Gilded Christmas, and I picked that because it looks like wallpaper. So let me show you that. So it's a very light, quite subtle wallpapery pattern. I hope you can see that. So that's the plan, to put that together like that. It's not fixed together because I would like to cut the window aperture out of here before I put it onto here. And then I will fix this behind. I'll get it all prepared and I'll come back. But what I also thought was in front of the window, behind there. So this will all be hidden behind. I've got some snowy acetate, which is going to be like the glass in the window. And then Linda's got the pink ink stamp set, Oh Christmas Tree. So whilst I was there last time, this is the stamp set. It's an absolutely beautiful stamp set. And it's the big tree and parcels and gift tags. It's stunning. So whilst I was there last time, I stamped and coloured using alcohol markers the tree. So the tree will stand in front of the window. So it really gives an impression of looking out. And then I stamped and coloured some of the presents. So these are the presents that come with the pink ink stamp set. So I've stuck these together, and as you can see, the border is very, very tiny in gold, and that's on purpose. I've also stuck this together so you can see there's the join on the back. I'm not worried about that. It's going to be on the back. So this will eventually go on here, but first I want to cut this out. So this will go on top of my cutout. I quite like the idea of the window not being in the centre of the card and quite high up. I want the tree in front of the window, so as many homes do at Christmas, they have the tree in the window. I'd like a hint to the tree in front of the window from the inside, and then I'm going to put some presents around the bottom. So I'm just using this to see if that's where I want my window, and I think that that's good. So with my pencil, I'm going to mark the bottom and the side just as reference points for my die. I'm going to place the die on those reference points. I'm going to tape it down and I'm going to run it through my machine. Okay, so I've cut the window out of the panel that's going to go on the card. That's gone through 2 layers of card. So I'm going to keep those in case I want to use them for something else. So now we can audition this image behind. So this is going to be outside. Already pre-cut the window, which will sit in there. And then the snowfall will go between the two. I've put some red tape on the back of my front page. Easier to put it on here than on the acetate because I'm not guessing where I'm putting it. So there's enough room there to stick that. So we'll stick that down. And then I've also put red tape on the back of my window because that's going to stick to the acetate from the other side. So we'll do this and get the acetate on. Red tape likes to have a little bit of burnish so that it grabs. I don't know if you can see the difference. Here I haven't burnished, here I have. You may be able to see. It goes from being a milky to clear. And once you've burnished it, it's stuck pretty much for good. Okay, so that's on. So we've now got our snowy background. So now we've got our snowy background, I'm going to put the window in the aperture. So this is the same window, so it fits perfectly in this slot. So that will be in front of the acetate. So I'm going to take the backing off that and stick that in there. So that's our window in. So now I need to put the image behind. So I think I've decided I want to put this up onto some foam. So I'd quite like the reindeer in the middle window. I've also to the side here cut from the same die set from this Laurel Beard die set. I've cut the window handles. That I've layered 3 of those up so that it gives a little bit of dimension. So I'm going to pop those on once I've got everything else done. So I'm going to cut the excess off of this back. I'm just going to mark with a pencil roughly where I need to cut because a lot of it's going to be hidden, and then I'll cut round that. So I've cut quite about 1 centimetre in, 1/4 of an inch in from my pencil mark so that it sits nicely behind the matte layer, and about the same again. So before I'm going to fix that, I'm going to put my tree on just to see if I want to move the reindeer in the background. I like them framed in the middle of the window. I'm going to put some foam around the window on the back so that I know that I'm not going to encroach onto the image, and then I will put foam around the rest of the window using foam tape, and then I'll stick it onto the actual card blank. I'm going to put foam all the way around here, put a little bit of glue on here, and then I'm going to stick it to the card blank, and then we'll finish the rest of the card. So I have put some more foam under here to stop this from sagging, to give it some stability. I've put some foam tape on with some of the Pritt stick on, and I've also put some Collall on here. I'm going to bring in my card base, which again is 8x8, and then I'm going to put this on the front. So that's the base of the card. I hope you can see that putting the foam gives a little bit of a gap so that it gives the illusion of them not being right outside the window. So now I'm going to pop the tree up on some foam, arrange the gifts and place a sentiment. I've put some foam tape on the back of here, leaving this free because it overhangs the window. So I've laid this down. It's not taken the backing off yet. And I've laid some of the presents down. I think I'm going to have some behind the tree. I'm still deciding which ones to put around there. I think I might put a green one behind here as well. So I'm going to get some of these down. Get some of these stuck directly on with glue, and then we'll put the tree on, and then we'll put some more around the tree. I'm going to get the tree on now. So the tree's on, a little bit of dimension. And they're going to put some more of these presents around here, but I'm going to pop them on some foam. Really pleased with that. So I don't really know where to put the sentiment. I thought about down here, but I don't necessarily think that that's the right place for it. I've been thinking, at home we tend to have Merry Christmas and what have you hanging from the ceiling. So I thought I might put it up above the window. So this is the finished card. Quite a cute little indoor scene looking out to quite a chilly looking outdoors. So thank you for watching today. If you've enjoyed the content, please do consider giving us a thumbs up and clicking the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. I'll pop the links to the pink ink in the description to their website, so you can go along and have a look at that. It's very, very beautiful stamp set. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.